We'll call the May 28th council meeting to order. Deputy Chief Martin, would you give the invocation, please?
Yes, sir. Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for another day of life. I ask that you would bless those in attendance here tonight and give them that are suffering right now, Father. Would you put a merciful hand on them and bless them as they need it. We ask that your will be served tonight, Father, and yours alone. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen. Chief Hawkins, would you give the pledge, please?
Yes, Your Honor. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk will call the roll.
Taylor.
Present.
Peterson.
Present.
Lease.
Present.
Heckmaster.
Present.
Edge.
Present.
Snow.
Here.
Barlow.
Here.
Cossey.
Here.
Schramm.
Present.
Move on to reading and consideration minutes of the previous meeting. Mr. Snow.
Your Honor, I move that we accept the meetings, the minutes of the May 14th, May 17th, May 20th, and May 21st minutes as provided in our packet.
Mr. Mayor.
We need a second.
Oh, Second. we need a second. Sorry.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second for those minutes.
I'm sorry. I
Discussion?
thought you were waiting for
Nope.
discussion. I forgot. We needed a second. Okay.
All right, so discussion.
I have a couple of proposed additions that the minutes left out. So the minutes for the 21st, it's on page 15 of our packet, right after the paragraph that discussed. Let me make sure I get my quote right here. So on that page, there's a paragraph that says, Mr. Taylor mentioned that an attorney he spoke with stated that to forward the council bill, that there had to be a unanimous vote. Right after that, it goes into voting, but we're missing an important part of the minutes. So right after that paragraph, I would like to move that we add that that the charter was consulted after Mr. Taylor made that statement, and section 3.9E said that only a 2/3 vote is required to forward a bill onto second reading as an emergency ordinance, and that Mr. Snow did review the charter and ruled that it should be forwarded.
Any discussion? We've got a motion to amend as outlined. And have you got the text so she could, or in writing, so Miranda will know what to?
Yeah, I can get that.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I didn't hear a second.
Oh, I don't think there was a second.
There was not, well, was there not a second for the,
I'll second.
okay, got a motion and a second to amend. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then on the May 14th minutes, under the citizens' participation, it's missing some significant comments that were made by one of the speakers, Julie Miner. Some of the important comments that I think need to be included was that when she was, if you remember, she's the person who was involved in an accident behind Roscoe's. She said in her statement that she was told that the police could not pursue the issue unless a complaint was filed, and so she filed a complaint. She was also told that the accident happened on a private lot, but later found out that it was a city-owned lot. And she also said that she was told that council members had been making negative comments about her on social media, but after researching this, she found out that it was untrue. I think all three of those are important parts of her statement that should be included in the minutes. Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to amend the May 14th minutes as well as outlined. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. further amendments? Seeing none, we've got a motion and a second to accept the minutes of the May 14th, 17th, 20th, and 21st as amended. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to public comments. Anyone wishing to address the council, state your name and address, organization or firm, and please keep your comments to 5 minutes or less.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Robin Blair, and tonight I'm speaking on behalf of the Carthage Humane Society located at 13860 Dog Kennel Lane. And I'd like to begin my discussion tonight by reading a story about one of the dogs at the shelter that was written by our executive director, Katie Logan. She shared this at the Stray Getty for those of you who were in attendance. Pull it up real quick. On July 19th, 2022, the City of Carthage Animal Control brought us, Carthage Humane Society, a skinny, terrified, beautiful pit bull we named Thor. He was found bearing old scars, new lacerations, and tied to the railroad tracks to die. The staff took him in, cleaned his wounds, fed and watered him, and let him rest. As you can imagine, he didn't trust humans. It took a long time for Thor to feel safe. He was adopted once and brought back days later. He needed time, he needed trust. He unfortunately was not given that opportunity. It's now been almost 2 years since he's been in our care. He still cowers, shakes, and doesn't trust us right away. He's the sweetest boy once you earn his trust. He thinks he's a 60-pound lap dog, gives the sloppiest kisses, and just wants love. An addendum to that, since Katie shared that story in April, Thor, after 645 days in the shelter and the failed adoption that she mentioned, has found his forever home this month. So that story ends very positively. We're here today because we want to serve the lost, abandoned, and abused animals of Carthage. We want to provide a high standard of care for the animals that come into the shelter. We want to help Carthage's stray animal problem. To do so, we need more revenue. We've asked for an additional $55,000, which would be used to maintain the current level of service that we've been giving to the city. Currently, we are budgeted to receive $46,000. If the council determines it cannot provide an increase, we'll need to renegotiate the contract to better reflect the city of Carthage's census in the shelter. Between 85 to 90% of animals come from the city, but the city provides between 15 to 17% of our budget. We are simply asking for equitable revenue. Are there any questions I could answer on behalf of the Humane Society?
I have one, just for clarification. So when you say you're asking for an additional $55,000, that's in addition to the 46?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
The current rates we have are untenable to maintain the care we need to be able to do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all for your time.
Thanks, Robin.
My name is Bill Shear. I live at 422 East 13th Street here in Carthage. The Missouri Attorney General's office on May the 24th says the Carthage City Council violated the Sunshine Law during the May 10th special council meeting. The AG Sunshine Law compliance officer says after repeated objections and warnings from Mayor Rife, the council discussed and voted on matters of significant public interest, even though these items were not listed on the agenda. So it appears the mayor has been following the law, but certain attorneys on this council have not. I'm sure breaking the law is still considered a Missouri bar violation, so the letters need to be sent out. We could even send a video. We all know how much you like sending letters to the bar. Mr. Putnam filed a complaint with the state auditor's office in 2021 about the position of assistant city administrator. But a committee was formed by the mayor and the council approved this position. The understanding was that Dagnan would take over the city administrator position when Mr. Short retired. It is no secret that certain members of this city wanted Mark Peterson as a city administrator, and they knew they could get more of what they wanted with him instead of Dagnan. Like the Precious Moments Lake Park, that was financially a bad deal for our city, but a moneymaker for certain people. Being the new city administrator, Dagnan was smart in asking for a forensic audit of the city's books. Turns out it showed $149,000 of missing funds from the Department of the CVB and the golf course. Charges were filed on Mark Peterson for embezzlement of $142,000. I've always liked Mark and have prayed that this is not true. It still has not been proven. Whether Mark is found guilty or not, there are still missing funds which would have gone a long way in funding our Humane Society. Without this audit, how much more money could the taxpayers still be losing? We also need to know who helped launder these funds. I'm sure the AG already knows the answer to that. Council members Snow, Cossey, Schramm, Edge, Barlow, and Peterson. All of you seem to be pursuing a vendetta agenda, the agenda the CCU backed you to pursue. If you are only here for 77 members of the CCU, you need to step down immediately. We want council members that has the city's best interest in mind. I would ask you please resign and save us good people who love the city and a lot of time and effort. Recalls involve a lot of work. We're in one right now for Ms. Cossey. I would like to thank Mrs. Leach and Mr. Taylor for being leaders, not followers, like most of this council. When good people don't speak up, bad things usually happen. We are sick of this circus. A question to the CCU founders and members. Why are you so adamant on getting these two out of the picture? The Missouri Attorney General has already made his ruling on the hiring of Mr. Dagnan and found no wrongdoing by the mayor. And previous council has voted and approved his hiring and was aware he did not live in the city of Carthage. I believe Mr. Barlow and Mr. Snow were both on the council at that time, so what's the problem? I read every council member voted to approve. What I don't understand, Dagnan should be decorated for finding these missing funds. It's our city's money that's being stolen. Instead, the CCU wants him fired. It almost makes you think they are in favor of city department heads stealing taxpayer dollars or even being involved themselves. All Mr. Dagnan did was his job, doing what's best for our city by uncovering this corruption. Is this why you want him gone? It appears you are not wanting to impeach the mayor for doing something wrong. You are after him for doing what was right, the job he was elected to do, and am I right on that? It is time for public comments. The citizens that love this town would love for a member of the CCU to get up here and tell everyone why they really want to impeach the mayor and fire Mr. Dagnan and show documented proof, not just an opinion. Ms. Leach has been trying to get, I'm just about done. Ms. Leach has been trying to get this question answered for weeks. The answer this council keeps giving has been proven untrue by the Attorney General.
Bill, you need to stop. I appreciate what you're saying, but you need to stop. The mayor's already got
Oh, okay.
Bill.
Sorry, time's up.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
Bill.
Mr. Mayor, Dagnan, City Council,
My name is Keith Hurlbut, and I live at 1227 South Maple. I brought up 2 pages here to read, but after Mr. Shear and some things that were said a couple weeks ago with Mr. Teed, I don't think there's a lot that I need to reiterate with that. I do have a couple of personal things that I can bring up. One, I love this town. I've lived here most of my life. I graduated from Carthage High School. I have raised my family here. I've even sat right where you sat, Ms. Schramm, in that seat 15 plus years ago. I'm a member of the Missouri National Guard, and I have been stationed all throughout Missouri, but I've always made it a point not to move my family from Carthage because of my love for this city and staying here. So what's happened these last few weeks has been painful to watch and quite embarrassing. Since the election in April, well, to back up a little bit, last summer, we all know what happened with the Carthage Water and Electric situation. And I was one of the few, or many, that got caught up in the emotions of it, and I was mad. And I thought, you know what, we need a change on city council. We can't keep doing this. And then once I started really looking into it, and seeing what was truly going on, let's just say that I absolutely regret my vote for Ms. Schramm in April. I definitely have buyer's remorse, and what has happened these last few weeks has again been an embarrassment to our city. And I just want to bring up one more personal situation. Again, we don't need to go over the fact that the council has broken several sunshine laws as evidenced by the Attorney General's letter. We don't need to go over any of the other stuff. But another thing that happened was I had emailed Ms. Cossey and Ms. Schramm and let them know my disappointment in what they were doing and how they may be serving the very few that voted for them, but they're not serving the entire ward. And of course, they blew off my concerns very, very quickly. And due to some sunshine law things that were brought up, I have an email between the 2 of them that I'd like to read to the council. And I'm not sure, I don't know if it's Ms. Cossey or Ms. Lease, but they said, Mr. Hurlbut has let me know that I have let him down and how much he is in favor of Mrs. Lease. And here's the good part. He lost a child a few years ago. I am thinking he is just redirecting his anger. I am giving him a pass for now on his actions.
That was me. I said that.
So-
Yes, I did.
4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, I was deployed for a second time to the Middle East. And I left in December of 2019, kissed my wife and 4 kids goodbye. And in April of 2020, I got a phone call that no one should have to get, well, half a world away. My daughter was found unresponsive, and her stepdad had to give her CPR for 30 minutes, and then she was life flighted to Springfield, Missouri, where she was put on life support. 3 days later, I had to help my family make a decision, again, from half a world away, to pull her off of life support. So that is something I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy, and no one sitting here, no, not anybody. It's a pain and a hurt that is tough to explain in 5 minutes. You just can't. But what I don't like is Ms. Cossey and now Ms. Schramm, because of the loss of my child, what you're telling me is I don't have a right
No.
to be angry with what you guys have done on city council. Because I'm only redirecting something that happened 4 years ago.
No, you do.
It certainly can't be what you guys are doing, of course. And also, I'm really curious about this free pass on my actions. My actions have been some emails voicing my disappointment and disagreement. I'm just curious, what is this free pass? Is it a threat?
No.
What are you giving me a free pass
No.
from? And I'll close with this. I know I got a minute and a half, but I had a lot more to say, but it's tough to follow Mr. Shear and what he said. But I'll just say this council has got to stop the nonsense. I love this town. I plan on staying here for as long as I can, and we need to get to working together. Stop this sham impeachment, and how about we go get the training you've been ordered to do, and then come back and start working on the city and what truly matters. And to Ms. Cossey in particular, tonight, I just want to let you know, I look forward to helping with the effort for your recall. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to make sure you do not run unopposed in Ward 5 again.
Thank you, Mr. Hurlbert. I'm very. Thank you for your words and calling me out on that. I truly, I've had many friends that have lost children, and I meant that in very kind ways because you had a lot of support before, and then it flipped without a discussion. So I'm very sorry. Please accept my apology that it was taken badly. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Seeing none others, I am gonna move on to report of standing committees. Budget, Ways and Means, Chairman Snow.
Thank you, Mayor. The Budget Ways and Means Committee met here on May 22nd. We heard the Carthage Water Electric Plant budget and rate increase request. Committee voted to forward that, both of those to council for approval, so we'll see those in council bill next month. Committee voted also to forward the existing Carthage Humane Society, Carthage Chamber, and the Vision Carthage contracts, knowing that each of those contracts needs to be revised after the new budget, but we currently have the budgeted, the contracted amounts in the new budget that we are working on, and so we will forward their existing funding based on the contract that we previously had signed for the budget. Our next meeting will be June 3rd at 5:30 here in council chambers, when we will hear the final budget and discuss it forward to council for approval. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Insurance, Audit and Claims, Chairperson Cossey.
Yes, the Insurance Audit and Claims met this evening at 5:30 here in council chambers. We approved the minutes of the last meeting, and then we approved the claims report. There is one item that is outstanding, pending just a little bit more information on it. But once it's approved, then the claims report was approved with no incident. And that was pretty much all we did. Our next meeting will be June 11th here in council chambers at 5:30 p.m.
All right, thank you. Public Safety Committee, Chairperson Heckmaster.
The Public Safety Committee met at 5:30 p.m. Monday, May 20th here in council chambers. We considered and discussed a neighborhood block party proposed by Jessica Duncan. She requested blocking Windy Lane between Buena Vista and Laura Street for the second annual neighborhood block party. The event will be held on June 1st, 2024 from 5 to 8 p.m. The committee approved this street closures. I'd now make a motion to block Windy Lane between Buena Vista and Laura Street on June 1st from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. for the second annual neighborhood block party.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to block Windy Lane between Buena Vista and what was the other end?
Buena Vista and Laura Street.
Laura, okay, sorry about that. All right, Windy Lane between Buena Vista and Laura on the 1st of June between 5 and 8 p.m.
Correct.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
In addition, Julie Reams of Carthage Chamber of Commerce discussed the Red, White, and Boom July 4th celebration, including times to block off parking in certain areas of the park. Pending coordination with the Parks Department, the committee tabled the conversation until our next meeting. Also tabled until our next meeting was a discussion regarding street closures for Shop with a Deputy fundraiser. Nancy Corley from the Carthage Humane Society spoke with the committee on the spay-neuter prices and kennel fees. She'd like to see these fees increased. This topic had been discussed in a previous meeting and tabled during that meeting. The Public Safety Committee will revisit this topic in our next meeting. The next meeting of the Public Safety Committee is scheduled to begin at 5:30 PM, Monday, June 17th, here in council chambers.
All right, thank you. Public Services, Chairman Edge.
Public Services met in council chambers on May 21st at 5:30. We discussed several items, the first being the Jasper County Youth Fair. We heard from Roxanne Willard. That is scheduled for July 6th through the 14th this year. They are looking to allow food trucks from the 8th through the 13th for longer than the designated 30-minute time limit currently. They're also looking to allow campers and camping in the park around the livestock area after the 10 p.m. curfew, which would include youths, but they would be accompanied by their parents. So at this point, I would like to make a motion to allow food trucks on July 8th through the 13th for longer than the current 30-minute time limit. Also allow campers and camping in the park during the event for participants in the livestock area.
Sorry, let's change it. Second.
All righty, have a motion and a second to allow food trucks for longer than the approved time between 7:08 and 7:13, and also for campers to be allowed in the barn area
Correct.
after 10 p.m. on those same dates, 8 through the 13th?
Correct, yeah, to allow for care for the livestock.
Okay. All right, is that correct? That what
Yes.
I got? Okay. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, we heard from Brady Beckham for Concerts in the Park for Carthage Council on Arts. They currently have dates set for June 15th, July 20th, and August 17th in Central Park in the East Quadrant. Setup will begin at 4 and music to begin at 7 p.m. With an end time of 11 p.m. So at this point, I would like to make a motion to allow the use of Central Park's East Quadrant on June 15th, July 20th, August 17th, beginning at 4 p.m. and ending at 11 p.m.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second to allow the concerts in the park on June the 15th, July the 20th, and August the 17th.
Correct.
Is that correct? Between the hours of 7 and 11 p.m.
4 p.m.
Oh, 4 p.m.
4 p.m. for setup. The
Okay.
concerts will actually begin at 7
All
p.m.
right. 4 p.m. All righty. So, correction, the 15th, July 20th, August 17th, was set up to begin at 4 p.m., the concert from 7 to 11.
Correct.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, we heard from Brian Krieger for the July 4th 5K Boom Run. This is a fundraiser for the Carthage Cross Country Team, and this is the 25th year for the event. This will be in Municipal Park near the Rock Stadium for setup. Setup time would be at 5:30 a.m. Timing company will also be coming in at 5:30 to set up. The race starts at 7:30 a.m. It will include a police escort, which will be leading the runners, with volunteers at each turn on the course, and the anticipated wrap-up time would be 9 a.m. Do we need a motion for that? Okay. At this time, I would like to make a motion for the use of Municipal Park for the July 4th 5K Boom Run as outlined. So setup time at 5:30 a.m. and closure or wrap-up time at 9 a.m.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second for the 25th annual 5K Boom Run. Set up to start at 5:30, the race will start at about 7:30, and usually by 9. If I was running it, it would be later than that, so. And the corners and everything are all taken care of by the,
Yeah, no street closures or anything, just the police escort and then the volunteers
Police escort,
directing
yep.
traffic.
all righty. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next up, we discussed the MOU with the Chamber of Commerce for the July 4th event in Municipal Park with Julie Reams. Lots of good things in this event. So there will be some closures of certain areas of the park starting July 3rd, which I believe is a public safety item that will be discussed there. The closure on July 3rd will allow for setup, including a stage for live music. Various food vendors, face painters, and other vendors will be set up as well. Music will begin at 3 p.m. A live band will start playing at 7 p.m. and play until the fireworks at 9:30. Watermelon feed will occur during the live band performance. Outdoor games, foam, and other activities will encompass the afternoon play area for families to join. The Fair Acres YMCA will also host a free community swim from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. The Kiwanis will have Kittyland open free to the public from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. And some entrance and street closures will be put into place along with parking restrictions to allow for better flow of traffic this year. So I would at this point in time like to make a motion to approve the outlined use and setup of Municipal Park. Unfortunately, that MOU was not included in our packet tonight, though.
It's pretty standard for the 4th
Yeah,
setup, I would imagine, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah, I think you just need to make a motion to have the event, and then the MOU can be signed
Yeah.
by.
Okay. At this point, then, I would like to make a motion to approve the event.
Approve the park's use for the
Correct.
event for this year. Okay.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the 4th of July celebration in the park. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
The last item, we discussed Memorial Hall rental pricing updates. Chelsea Chawley gave us a great update on that. And those updated pricings were voted on and approved and will go into effect on July 1st for new rentals at this point. Nothing for council, just wanted to mention that item. Our next meeting is scheduled for June 18th at 5:30 p.m. here in council chambers.
All right, thank you. Public Work Committee, Chairman Taylor.
We are between meetings at this time. Our next meeting will be the second Monday, or the first Monday of June at 5:30 p.m.
All right. Move on to report of special committees and board liaisons. Anyone?
I've got one for Vision Carthage. We met at the Carthage Water and Electric Community Room on May 15th. We reviewed financials and heard committee reports. The next meeting is on June 19th at the Carthage Water and Electric Plant Community Room. I do have a request. I don't know if that goes to you, Miranda, but they've changed that location of the meeting on the listing. It still shows chamber, but it's actually at the Carthage Water and Electric Community Room now.
All right, thank you.
Still at 7:30.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Mayor's report. I have under item 15 on the agenda, which is old business, I have a point of order to raise. Under that, for consideration before we get to other agenda items, pursuant to the city charter, I return Council Bill 2447 to the council with the following objections. I believe that the efforts to remove me from office as mayor of the city of Carthage are directly related to my efforts to enforce the law and hold members of our community accountable for their actions while in positions of public trust. I believe these charges are entirely politically motivated and will not cease my efforts to protect the public I serve and provide transparency. I will not sign this bill.
Mayor, I have a question regarding that. So you're just refusing to sign the bill, is that right?
No, I'm vetoing the bill.
You're vetoing?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you.
At this point, the council can proceed at your convenience to consider the question pending. Shall the bill pass? Objections of the mayor thereto notwithstanding.
I'm sorry, what item was that on the agenda?
It was item 15, I believe.
I don't see it in my item, on my under old business.
Council Bill 2447.
It's not on the agenda.
It's not on there.
2427 was at the last meeting.
Well.
Oh, 2427 was that council vote passed.
2427. 2427, I have a typo.
That was.
All right, so make that correction, 2427.
Again, Mayor, are you saying that that's under item number 15?
Well, that's where I thought it was, but apparently not.
I was gonna say, I don't see
So,
it on the
yeah,
agenda.
it's not on the agenda tonight, so I have to veto it by in the following meeting, no later than the following meeting, so we can add it to the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay.
All right, we will move on. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it wouldn't be on the agenda because it was passed, and I'm just letting you know that it was vetoed, or I'm vetoing it. All right, so made some emergency purchases for a storm siren, the repair of the storm siren that this time of year we can't hardly do without, so that's an emergency. And also engaging Lauber Law Firm again. I fully expect that to be a short term, and they knew it as well, but we needed an attorney to write up papers if we hire an attorney, so that was my
Mr. Mayor, we
reasoning for
said
that.
on April 9th that we were not going to use Lauber Law Firm again, and the council voted on that. And the mayor nor city employee can contact outside law firms regarding city business unless specific purposes have been approved by majority of the council. So you were not authorized, and that did not fall underneath the emergency.
Well,
Yes, I would
think
also
it
like
did.
to agree with Councilperson Schramm. As a point of order, you don't have the authority to contract without the council approval. I have the emergency purchases, and all that does is it allows you to forego the normal purchasing process. It does not allow you to forego state law, which requires the city council approval of the contract, and so therefore that contract is invalid.
well, and that is fine. I fully expected that, so.
I would like to, I'm looking at my agenda and I don't see that on my agenda either, Mayor.
No, that's in my mayor's report.
Oh, the mayor's report.
Yeah. Yeah,
17 has a temporary appointment.
okay.
Oh, and the appointments.
Yep. Temporary. All right, and then the hiring committee did meet this afternoon and made some progress. We've identified potential firm and gonna talk to them a little more and make sure that they're willing to meet our needs, and then we will follow up with the council after that. So hopefully making progress there. All right. Report or remarks of council members. Mr. Taylor, anything?
I have nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Ms. Peterson?
I would just note again that Kids Fishing Day is on June 8th at Kellogg Lake, and as a great event, it's been 24 years in a row now. I'd encourage everyone to go. So nothing further. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Please.
I'd just like to say thanks to the city workers again, all of them, our Carthage Water and Electric, our city team. I ran into some of the gentlemen that I think they might be under your heaven, and I ran into them at lunch today at the lunchroom, and I just thanked them because I saw their shirts and I was like, thank you so much, you've done a good job cleaning up. Had no idea that they had already, just from private individuals, over 400 trucks worth of branches and limbs. And I'm just amazed at that. So, and things are looking really good, really quick. So I just want to say thank you to all the city workers.
All right, thank you. Ms. Heckmaster?
I echo your comments, Councilwoman Lees. The city is just, it's amazing the amount of work that's been done in a short period of time. I'm grateful. Nothing else, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Edge,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Mr. Snow.
I forgot to mention in my budget committee meeting, also, we heard from two ladies from Lockton on the salary study for Carthage Water Electric Plant salary study. They are in the final stages. They do not have all of they provide a tool that slots the employees into their position levels based on experience, proficiency in the job, years in the job, different things. And so they're in the process of slotting all the employees at this time. They did budget I believe it's an 11% salary increase based on the preliminary numbers that they have in the salary study. So I forgot to mention that during my report. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Barlow.
No, sir. Thank you.
Ms. Cossey.
Well, I didn't until your mayor's report. So at this time, I would like to make a motion that we have yet another special council meeting to override or to consider the override of the mayor's veto on our ordinance. So that is the motion. I guess it would need a second.
All right. Do we have a date and a time?
Well, I would like that to be part of the discussion. I would like to be as soon as possible. So my proposal would be tomorrow evening at 6 p.m.
It's too late for tomorrow.
Oh, sorry. Oh, not 24 hours. My apologies. You're right. So 7:15.
I can't post an agenda in 5 minutes, 4 minutes.
So, okay, fair enough. Since it would be a relatively, you're right, Miranda. So since it would be a relatively small agenda, I assume would you be able to post it this evening before we left?
I don't know what time we're leaving.
So.
And so unless you want to have a meeting at 8 o'clock or after, which I'm sure everybody wants to do that.
Oh, I'm sure everybody does want to do it, but it's not myself that's forcing the issue. So, yeah, I would motion, and I would open it to discussion. I don't know what everybody's availability is, but I would motion that we meet tomorrow night at 8 p.m. to consider the override of the mayor's veto.
I'd second that.
I have a motion and a second for a special council meeting
I want to know exactly what
on.
it's about. I apologize.
Oh, I'm
Didn't open
sorry.
me yet.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Special council meeting on May the 29th at 8 p.m. Any discussion?
Is it for something that you haven't vetoed yet, or you have vetoed?
I just vetoed during my marriage.
For what's coming up down here.
No, he
No,
vetoed Council Bill
It was the
2427.
bill that was passed
Gotcha.
That was passed
last
last
Friday.
week.
Okay, gotcha.
I know, there's so many, it's confusing. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Please raise your hand for a
Yep,
no.
we're gonna have a count on that one. All right, motion does not pass.
So I would like to make a motion that we consider, that we open discussion for a time that we may be able to meet to override the mayor's veto.
I second that.
Have a motion and a second for some discussion on potential special meeting times.
I would
and
say at our
dates.
next meeting.
Oh, sorry. Well, our next meeting isn't for 2 weeks. That would be after the hearing date that has been set. So I believe that in order to continue on and to maintain the hearing date that's been set next week, that we need to meet as quickly as possible. Notice has been given to the mayor. We just need to meet to see if we want to override that veto so that we can continue with the hearing process that has already been established. Is there anyone who has a proposed alternate time? If tomorrow night is the issue, is Wednesday night a better night? I don't know what Thursday. The holiday has thrown me off.
Well, my discussion, I guess, would be if the mayor can veto it as Mr. Martin told us when the mayor vetoed the resolution, that the mayor did not have the authority to veto it because I was chairing the meeting at the time. So the mayor had relinquished his authority to me. And so I believe that we need a legal opinion before we even know whether the mayor has the legal authority to be able to veto the council bill, because I did sign the council bill.
That's an excellent point, Mr. Snow. So, yeah, and because there is a conflict of interest, the mayor is not allowed to vote on something that is in his own self-interest. So I guess at this time, I would like to rescind the motion to meet and make a motion that we do not acknowledge the veto because it's not in effect. Because he was not chairing the meeting at the time, and he would be making a motion, or he would be vetoing something that's in his own self-interest, and he doesn't have the ability to do it, just like he didn't have the ability to do it with the resolution. He doesn't have the ability to do it with the
So
ordinance
you don't
either.
want any legal opinion?
So, I mean, we can
From someone
get
that's not biased, of course.
we can seek a legal opinion, but at this particular time, we don't have an attorney, a city attorney. I would like to get the opinion of Mr. Martin, but I believe that his opinion is going to be the same as it was before, just as he didn't have the ability. So the mayor was
He
not
also
in.
has a stake in this, and I feel like a different legal opinion would be good. I think you're right. I think a legal thing would be good, Mr. Snow.
Although I agree with Mr. Snow, that's an excellent point. So just as with the resolution, the same is true with the ordinance. The mayor was not chairing the meeting. He doesn't have the ability to veto something. That would fall to Mr. Snow. Also, he doesn't have the ability to vote on something in which he has a self-interest. That is in our ordinances.
As per Mr. Martin, not as, that's his opinion. And he even said it was his opinion.
That's true. It's a valid legal opinion, but I mean, it is in our ordinances.
But
and
he's got a
that's-
stake in this, and I
that's
feel
true.
like that we need to be fair all the way around. We need to look at this. I don't want to do anything that's going to get us in trouble or our city in trouble.
So I don't believe that this is any different than not recognizing his veto on the resolution. Not recognizing his veto on the ordinance is exactly the same thing.
Well, I'm sorry, but I also would like a legal opinion because, to be totally honest, I don't trust yours.
That's fine. But
Well,
anyway,
I believe Mr. Martin told us that the remedy that the mayor could seek would be to file a complaint in the court. That would be up to the mayor to file a complaint in the court, have a hearing that a judge would hear, and the judge would make a ruling on the legal opinion. It wouldn't be a lawyer, it would be the judge making the legal opinion. At this point in time, as far as I'm aware, the mayor hasn't filed any.
So are you changing what you wanted a legal opinion, but now you don't? You just want to leave it to him to file an injunction or something? Is that what you mean?
Ms. Lees, we
No,
have.
I'm not asking in
I
a
know,
mean way.
no.
The city, we're paying money, we're costing,
I absolutely
a
agree.
lot.
I absolutely agree. And you can get 20 lawyers in a room, and 20 lawyers are gonna have 20 different opinions.
as
So
is Mr. Martin.
where are we gonna go to find a lawyer that will give an opinion that all of us are gonna agree to, is my question to you. So I didn't say I wanted to get a legal opinion. I said I believe that the legal opinion that Mr. Martin gave us was a legal opinion that the mayor didn't have the ability to veto the resolution. I believe that same legal opinion stands in this situation also. That was my legal opinion comment, not that we should seek a legal opinion, but we have a legal opinion already, and we already have a
legal opinion of someone who has a stake. And I'm sorry, he's out to make a lot of money. So it's a legal opinion of someone that's gonna make a lot of money, a whole lot more than our mayor makes.
well, Ms. Lees, he's going to, regardless of what opinion he gives, the impeachment process has already been started. He's going to be paid for his role in this, regardless of what opinion he gives. But he's giving this not because he's biased. He's giving this opinion because he believes that is correct. And so whether or not he was to give the same opinion, which I believe he would, it's the exact same circumstances, just with an ordinance instead of a resolution, he's going to get paid one way or the other. He's not going to get extra for reiterating that opinion.
No, but he's staked in the whole mayor impeachment.
So, well, okay, so we understand your concerns. I also
And, wait,
understand.
I'm not finished.
Okay, go right ahead.
I also feel that, or, you know, that you're talking about him and Paul Martin, but I think that as a whole, we need to consider everything. I don't want to do anything that's going to further endanger our city at this point. We have a lot going on, and a lot jumped out of the box the night I signed up. You know, the night the new ones came on. And I think there's a lot, and it's went really fast. And I really think that we need to take a look at it. I don't want any of us personally in trouble. I don't know about you, but it scared the heck out of me when we got the letter on Friday.
No, well, because the letter that we received mentioned that we've received 9 sunshine violation complaints over the last year. So that letter was not directed at the action that occurred in one committee. It's mostly directed at what had been going on with the whole CWEP issue and the things that.
Well, whatever you guys decide to do, I am going to vote no against it.
I know, Mr. Taylor.
Figure it out.
So, but anyway, so that
what
letter
you're
was
doing is
addressed,
wrong.
if you read the letter, and I'm sure you did, it mentioned that there have been 9 complaints over the last year. And so
It
a
also
lot
makes
of those.
specific complaints of, well, we've all been on council.
Right. No, that's not correct. It says over the last year.
It mentions a certain.
I'm going to excuse myself from this travesty.
Mr. Taylor, if you leave the meeting again, that's against our ordinances. You have to have approval of a vote to
I don't have to
leave.
have approval
Yes,
from
you
you
do.
for nothing.
No, the entire council.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Well,
I'm not
again,
gonna watch somebody railroaded for somebody's agenda. Okay, for you people, I'll stay.
I would like to call for the end of this discussion because again, it wasn't on the agenda.
I second that.
All right,
There's no-
so
no
we'll move
vote,
on.
No vote. I just want the discussion to end because it was not on the
So
agenda.
we'll move on. I believe we still
There-
have Ms. Schramm.
So can we vote on it?
If anyone.
Since it was not on the agenda?
This whole discussion that we've just been having was not on the
Yes.
agenda
I know,
tonight.
but I wasn't the one that brought it up.
Did
I
you call
agree.
for me?
Yes, if you have
okay.
any comments.
The only comments I had was I had somebody contact me that they were trying to be charged for bringing limbs to the recycling center. And I did see today that no one will be charged until after the 31st. So it's clear that they could still take limbs out. So I just wanted to make that clear that we have until the 31st to do cleanup from the city.
He said he would address.
Thank you, that's all I had.
Thank you. He can hook up the audio. Camera.
Hello.
Hello?
Oh, okay. So Christopher Thornton is
Hello?
joining through Zoom, and he's
Can you hear us?
going to make a comment here.
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Is it,
go ahead and talk.
have I been recognized before the council? I don't want to speak on it.
Yes.
This was not mayor's attorney. Yeah, this is
Mayor
not on the
Wright?
agenda.
Yes.
I'm responding to a couple of the comments. Your veto is.
Nope.
We lost
We're
you.
losing audio.
Check 1 2. Check
Yep.
1 2.
Excuse me,
There
the
you go.
contract for him has not been approved and will not be approved.
No, this is the mayor's
who?
attorney.
Oh,
I'm
if it's
paying
your
him.
attorney, okay, that's fine. I thought it was for, I'm sorry.
That's
My apologies.
Nope, you're fine.
Thank you. When I'm wrong, I'll say.
Okay, you still there?
Are you still there? No, we lost lost him.
I think we lost him. Well, technology, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll move on, and if he gets linked back up, we'll call a pause. But moving on to administrative reports. Chief Hawkins, anything?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Deputy Chief Martin, anything? Ms. Almendinger?
Good evening, thank you. I just wanted to go through a couple of updates for the park. Park cleanup is going very well. All parks are open, including the golf course is fully open. Yay. The pool also opened this weekend to hundreds of participants, which was a lot of fun. And we're working hard to get all other repairs completed. There are still quite a few things that are in disrepair, including our building. So we're working out of a fairly significantly damaged building at the moment, and we're working on getting the dog park back up and running and all those types of things. That's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Good, thank you. You guys are doing wonderfully. It's just amazing. I drive by and look, and it's just incredible. So thank you guys, all of you. Mr. Dagnan.
Yes, good evening, sir. Thank you. Couple things. As Mr. Snow mentioned, the budget, now all the department heads have to write up all their stuff that goes in the budget books, and so we're working on that. So hopefully by your June 3rd meeting, you'll have something a little more tangible that you can look at. Also, I do want to compliment everyone that works for the city. So I was told this morning that other than a few private homes that were having difficulty getting cooperation, and like Abby mentioned, her building, the cleanup itself took 21 days, which is amazing, and the golf course was open in 17 days. So again, want to commend everybody at the city. That was amazing work. Thank you, sir.
Incredible. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to report of the Claims Committee.
The Committee on Claims filed a report in the amount of $3,982,359.54.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the claims as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the report and allow the claims. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We will move on to old business.
The second reading of Council Bill 2425, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Tyler Technologies Incorporated to provide an annual subscription for financial software for the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Cast your votes.
Of course, it's not coming up. I vote yes.
Okay, hold on, I gotta reset that.
Bless you.
There we go.
Aaron Logston.
All right, council bill passes.
The second reading of Council Bill 2426, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Kevin Harrison, DBA Kevin Harrison Masonry for signage in the parks, and the amount up to $11,915.21 per sign for a total of 7 signs in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion?
I did have someone ask me about the design of the signs, and so I did see a picture in the packet that said that the signs were supposed to be similar to the picture of someone's fireplace, but I haven't really seen the designs. Am I just missing that in the council packet somewhere?
Yes, it was, so this is a thing that we've been working on probably since the beginning of the year. It's actually patterned to look after the historic Phelps House sign that was built. So the picture that you're seeing of the fireplace is a representation of the work that is done by the gentleman who is the mason who's doing the work. It's Ruth Colpin's fireplace.
Okay, so the signs are supposed to look like the Phelps House signs for each of the parks?
Right, this is out of the Parks Master Plan. So this is, again, from a prior council, but this is through the Parks Master Plan. When they did all of that, there was a pretty big vocal group that, I mean, just pretty widely by the community, who has said that signage was lacking in the parks. And so that was an initiative that was put forward by the Parks Master Plan. So what this is slabs of Carthage marble that have been donated by a private family, because of course you can't get the marble anymore, Carthage marble. So this would be hand-pitched slabs that will look, and it is in your packet, or let's see, it was in your packet at one time. If you, yeah, it is in your packet actually. So there's a picture of exactly what it is supposed to look like, which is in your council packet tonight. And so, again, it is by a mason that can only do the work of the hand pitching. That's where the cost comes in. So these are forever signs that will be, you know, a very much traditional nod to our Carthage history. And of course, you can't get this marble anymore. So that's a little bit of background. I hope that's helpful.
Thank you.
All right, any further discussion? Cast your votes.
Gina, did yours copy?
Go back in and back.
Yes.
All right, council bill passes. We'll move on to new business.
Discuss pursuing special general counsel or hiring a city attorney with a possible vote on such matters.
All right, so I'll just start off by saying that the hiring committee did meet this afternoon and discussed the individuals and firms that we received as a result of the RFP and kind of looked at those. We did make a selection that I thought everyone could live with, but until we discuss further the
Terms.
we think we need to have a firm in here as quickly as possible. We want to have the ability to have council bills and the city be represented as quickly as possible. So we do want to touch base with the firm one more time before announcing the name in public, and then we'll, as soon as we do that, which HR will be doing tomorrow, I'm guessing, we will get back to you and let you know. But there's, I'm sure, further discussion. I just wanted to touch base on where the committee ended up this afternoon. Yes, Mr. Edge.
Is that the permanent direction at this point, or is that kind of a stopgap until we can
Well,
address further?
that's one of the things we were looking at, is being a kind of a temporary appointment until.
Okay, just curiosity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, anyone wants to go further and discuss other options or more options?
I would also like to make a motion, in addition to the firm that was discussed in the committee earlier today. I would also like to make a motion that at our next council meeting, we consider also designating Paul Martin as special general counsel for ancillary items that may occur in conjunction with the impeachment. So in addition to the impeachment, ancillary items are creeping up around it, and he would be in the best position to help advise the council, I believe, on that, since he's already versed in what's going on with the city. So I would like to, at this time, I would like to make a motion that we hire Paul Martin as special general counsel for whatever matters that he may need to be
You'd like
consulted
to add
on.
that to the next agenda? Is that what you-
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we add that to the next agenda, so not to actually hire him this
To
evening.
discuss hiring him?
To actually, yeah, I guess we would have to have the discussion because it's not on the agenda tonight to have a vote to hire him. Yeah. So I'd like to make a motion to put that on the agenda for next time.
I second that.
I have a motion and a second to add hiring Paul Martin as general counsel on the next agenda. Any
A special
discussion?
general counsel, sorry.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. All right, any further discussion on this matter? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to mayor's appointments. We've got well, I'll let Miranda go ahead.
The approval of the mayor's board liaison appointments.
I move a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the mayor's appointments for board liaison. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, when I reviewed these appeared that they've not appeared from the last several times they've appeared on the agenda. Is that correct? They've not been changed?
No changes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
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 Okay, raise your
All
hand
right,
for a no,
yep.
please.
Gotta get a count.
For what, no?
For a no.
For no, not approving the board liaisons.
Three.
3. 6 to 3.
What was the final count?
6 to 3.
6 to 3, motion carried.
And then the temporary appointment of Lauber Municipal Law Firm.
I make a motion, we accept the temporary appointment of the Lauber Municipal Law Firm.
I'm just confused of why that's on there if we were talking about the other special counsel. Is this for other things? I apologize.
This was an emergency appointment.
Okay.
This is just, would be
Second.
the council approving it. All right, so I've got a motion and a second to accept the temporary appointment of Lauber Law Firm. Discussion.
Mr. Mayor, back in April, the council voted to dismiss the Lauber Law Firm. I'm not aware that anything has changed in those terms. I am planning to vote no on this.
All right, any further discussion? Let's just, all in favor, raise your hand
I
first.
have one more discussion,
Oh,
sorry.
okay, sure.
So they would just be doing it until we get the other law firm ironed out, correct?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
What
All-
were the dates on that? What were the date? There were dates on that contract. I thought it said 14th or 15th through the 28th. Was it just for a certain time that's already passed?
15th through the 28th.
Yes. So
And then it has the option to renew weekly.
So those services had already been rendered when we did not approve them. And it was not an emergency situation at that point, and the council had voted to not use Lobner, and the mayor went into an agreement with them anyhow against the council's decision.
And I am curious, I do have a question for Mr. Taylor. He mentioned speaking with Nathan Nicholas last time. But when you had your conversation with Mr. Nicholas, was that you reaching out to him, or did he reach out to you?
I reached out to him as a personal, for myself personally, not for the council.
Thank you.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand.
I'm so sorry. I keep asking, and I
No, it's okay,
apologize.
it's
Just
okay.
like to make sure everything.
Sure.
So, they would still take care of things just until we got the other council, just like I said. But who's going to take care of things right now if we didn't vote this? Okay, that's all.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. All right, raise your hands, I'm sorry. 3. And opposed, same signal. All right. Motion fails. We'll move on to closing comments. Mr. Edge.
Nothing further tonight, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Snow.
Nothing tonight.
Mr. Barlow.
No, sir.
Ms. Cossey.
Nothing tonight?
Ms. Schramm.
No, I think so.
Mr. Taylor.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Mr. Peterson.
Nothing, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Lees.
Nothing, and I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Nope, we got
Oh,
one more.
I can't
Got-
motion.
Yep.
Oh, Terry,
You're stealing my
I
thunder.
snuck it in on you.
You did sneak that in on me. So, no, I have nothing further tonight. Thank you.
All righty, thank you. Ms.
Nothing
Hackmaster.
tonight, Your Honor, and I move that we adjourn.
I
Got a motion
second.
to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Sorry, Terry.
I did.
I was so proud of myself.
Was it you? Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I don't understand why they don't have.